Have you ever dated a woman who seems to always keep her distance, even when you try your best to get closer? Someone who withdraws when you try to show affection instead of reciprocating? If you've ever felt confused or powerless when loving someone with an avoidant attachment style, this video is for you. In today's episode, we'll uncover the secrets behind the psychology of women with avoidant attachment. I'll help you understand why they act the way they do, what they truly need, and most importantly, how to build a lasting, loving relationship with them without making them feel pressured. Remember, avoidant women are not a problem to solve, but individuals with a unique way of loving. When you understand the key, you not only help her open up, but also create a relationship where both of you feel fulfilled. If you want to unlock these secrets and improve every aspect of your love life, watch the video until the end. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any valuable content. There's so much more exciting stuff waiting for you to discover. Number 1. Understanding women with avoidant tendencies. Don't be quick to label her as a red flag. Behind her seemingly cold and distant demeanor lies a long story of past wounds and fears. This characteristic is not only the result of psychological experiences, but is also closely linked to biological changes in the brain, influencing how she perceives and responds to love. The nervous system of someone with avoidant tendencies often exhibits the following traits: high cortisol levels. Elevated levels of the stress hormone cortisol can impact the development of oxytocin receptors, making it difficult for them to feel love and connection. Low oxytocin. A deficiency in oxytocin, often referred to as the love hormone, hinders the ability to build trust and feel secure in relationships. Low GABA. Levels of gamma-aminobutyric acid, GABA, a neurotransmitter that calms stress, are often lower, contributing to heightened anxiety and vigilance. Low vasopressin. Vasopressin, a hormone crucial for building bonds through shared problem-solving, is often lower due to their tendency toward isolation and self-reliance. Low serotonin. A serotonin deficiency can explain why many avoidant individuals turn to activities like sports, yoga, or meditation as a way to boost their levels of this hormone. High dopamine. They may rely on quick stimuli like sugar, gambling, sex, or shopping to obtain dopamine, a hormone linked to the brain's reward system. These biological changes often stem from negative attachment experiences in childhood. Many of them grew up in environments where expressing needs was not welcomed. Instead of being met with understanding or support, they might have faced criticism, rejection, or even punishment. They learned that sharing emotions or personal desires was not only futile, but could also lead to further harm. As a result, they developed a defense mechanism, meeting their own needs without relying on anyone else. Imagine a little girl longing for love and attention, but every time she expressed her needs, she was met with indifference, neglect, or even harsh words. Over time, she learned to lock away her heart, telling herself, "It's best to take care of myself. I don't need anyone else." She grew up carrying these psychological scars into her relationships. She keeps her distance, appearing strong and independent because she fears that opening up will leave her vulnerable to the same pain she experienced as a child. She might say things like, "I'm fine, you don't need to worry about me," or "I prefer to be alone." But deep down, she still longs for love and protection. Understanding these biological changes helps us see avoidant women in a more compassionate light. They are not heartless or cold, but carry invisible wounds that need healing. Building a relationship with them requires patience, sensitivity, and deep understanding. If you're wondering how to help her open up and feel safe, stay tuned. In the next section, we'll explore how to overcome these barriers to create a lasting and meaningful relationship. Number 2. Don't chase, build a safe connection. When you try to pursue an avoidant woman, you inadvertently trigger the deeply ingrained defense mechanisms within her. For women with this attachment style, any effort on your part to get closer might be misinterpreted as a form of pressure, making her feel the need to protect herself from such approaches. Instead of encouraging her to open up, chasing her only pushes her further away. reinforcing her core belief, "I can only be safe if I rely on myself." Research shows that individuals with avoidant attachment often have lower oxytocin levels or respond less effectively to oxytocin compared to those with secure attachment styles. When approaching this group, being overly enthusiastic in your pursuit often backfires. They may perceive your advances as a form of pressure, strengthening their defensive mechanisms and increasing the emotional distance. This reaction could stem from their nervous system, which associates a rise in oxytocin with triggering fear or anxiety due to negative associations formed in childhood. Instead of trying to change her or prove yourself, a more effective strategy is to focus on building a safe connection, a communication environment where the woman feels respected, accepted, and free from pressure. This environment can naturally encourage the release of oxytocin, helping her gradually develop trust and feel secure in the relationship. When you subtly show care and offer support without being intrusive, she will begin to sense safety in the connection, activating positive biological responses related to attachment and trust, including oxytocin release. For example, in communication, you can use open-ended questions to encourage her to share her challenges, such as, "How has work been for you lately?" Or, "Is there anything that's been bothering you?" The key is to listen actively and show empathy rather than rushing to give advice or solutions. Genuine listening and emotional sharing can stimulate oxytocin production in both parties, creating a positive loop of connection and trust. Instead of asking her to change, try suggesting, "I know you're having a tough time with this project. If you want, we could brainstorm some new ideas together." Collaborating on life's challenges not only fosters trust, but also helps her realize the value of partnership and connection. Working together to overcome difficulties has been proven to increase oxytocin levels, strengthening the bond between both individuals. This strategy not only aims to build trust, but also indirectly activates the latent desire for connection in avoidant individuals. But this is just the beginning. Let's move on to the next strategy. Number 3. Subconscious awakening. Navigating the defense mechanisms of avoidant individuals. The book Attached by Amir Levine and Rachel Heller highlights that the emotions within avoidant individuals don't disappear, but are repressed into the subconscious, waiting for special moments to be awakened. Avoidant individuals often develop sophisticated defense mechanisms, reacting sensitively to words that imply attachment, needs, overbearing, and are slower to recognize signals related to separation, breakup, loss. They frequently perceive their partners as overly demanding or controlling, while unconsciously avoiding dealing with negative emotions related to loss or vulnerability. However, when their mental energy is diverted to another task, their ability to regulate emotions weakens, allowing underlying attachment anxieties to surface. During such moments, subtly awakening their subconscious can help them access their true emotions without activating their defense systems. Instead of direct confrontation, create shared, low-pressure activities that allow them to lower their guard and freely express themselves. For instance, cooking together, painting, or watching an emotionally rich movie can provide golden moments to naturally evoke and connect with their emotions. Patience, subtlety, and empathy are crucial throughout this process. Rather than trying to change or force them to confront their anxieties, create a safe space where they feel accepted and heard. The goal isn't to fix them, but to provide the conditions for them to explore and accept their own emotions. Subconscious awakening is an indirect yet effective method to touch the heart of avoidant individuals. However, it's important to remember that success depends on multiple factors, including their readiness to face themselves and the wounds of their past. Number 4. Connect through communication. Rather than focusing on gaining her attention, shift toward listening and asking open-ended questions. This approach not only makes her feel respected, but also creates a safe space for her to share the thoughts and emotions she usually keeps hidden. Try gentle prompts such as, "What has made you feel most at ease recently?" Or, "Is there something you've wanted to share but haven't had the chance to?" These questions aren't meant to pressure her into opening up all at once. but rather to provide an opportunity for her to express herself in a way that feels comfortable. Another way to foster communication is through everyday activities. For example, you could suggest cooking together or taking a walk. In the relaxed atmosphere of these activities, you might gently start conversations with simple questions like, "What was your favorite food as a child?" Or, "If you could choose one place to travel to, where would it be?" These questions are light and easy to answer, but can still evoke memories and emotions, helping her feel safe enough to share more about herself. Pay attention to the signals she gives. If she starts responding with more detail, it's a sign she's beginning to trust you and feels ready to open up more. Avoid overwhelming her with complicated or probing questions at this point. Instead, listen sincerely and respond with empathy. "That sounds amazing," or "I can see why that's important to you." This style of communication helps her realize that you're not only interested in what she says, but also genuinely value and understand her. You can also share personal stories to build connection. For instance, tell a funny or memorable story from your life and then ask, "Have you ever experienced something like that?" This makes it easier for her to share her experiences without feeling pressured to reveal deeply personal emotions right away. Ultimately, connecting through communication doesn't have to involve long or emotionally intense conversations. It can be as simple as asking gentle questions, sharing small stories, or simply listening attentively. The most important elements are consistency and sincerity. When she sees that you're willing to listen without judgment, she'll gradually feel that you're someone she can trust and rely on when she needs support. A strong relationship isn't built through one-sided effort, but through mutual dedication. Share this video with her to explore tailored ways to connect, helping you both understand and bond more deeply. Number 5. A guide for avoidant women, overcoming barriers and building connection. I understand that expressing emotions and building intimacy in relationships can be challenging for you. However, by becoming aware of your behavioral patterns and applying the right strategies, you can overcome these barriers and create healthy, lasting relationships. Here are 3 key strategies to help you connect more effectively in love. First, communicating needs. Sharing personal needs can be a significant challenge due to the fear of rejection, punishment, or abandonment when expressing your desires. However, open and honest communication is essential for building intimacy and trust in a relationship. Start by recognizing your fears around expressing your needs. Instead of sharing everything at once, take small steps, starting with minor concerns. For example, rather than saying, "I need you to always be by my side," you could say, "I feel a little anxious when we don't see each other for a long time." Second, shifting from self-protection to connection. You may often prioritize protecting yourself over nurturing the relationship. This might lead to avoiding conflicts, steering clear of difficult conversations, and not sharing your true desires. To address this, practice listening and understanding your partner's perspective when they express negative emotions. Share your own thoughts and feelings honestly, even if it feels uncomfortable. For instance, instead of saying, "You're overreacting," try saying, "I understand why you feel that way. I'll try to be more mindful next time." Third, facing conflict instead of avoiding it. Conflict is an inevitable part of any relationship. However, don't view conflict as dangerous or something to be avoided at all costs. Instead, learn to recognize and manage your emotions when disagreements arise. Rather than withdrawing or staying silent, calmly express your perspective with respect. For example, "I feel uncomfortable when you say that. I need us to find a solution together for this issue." Alternatively, when your partner says, "I want to talk about this problem," instead of replying, "I don't want to talk right now," try saying, "I understand this is important to you. I need a little time to think about it. Can we talk later?" By actively communicating and facing challenges, you can build closer, happier relationships. Never thought I could feel this way. I'm no longer afraid of love, and I've realized it's not something to resist but something to embrace. For the first time in my life, I understand that true love isn't about pressure or demands. It's about safety, support, and this is what I hope for you and your partner to achieve. Start with small steps by listening, communicating clearly, and building trust day by day. Don't hesitate to share your story because your experiences might inspire others and show them that change is possible. Thank you for following along. If you found this article helpful, please share your story with me. I'm here to listen and support you through this journey. Let understanding and love guide the way forward.